The interview for me was uh, two interview stations that lasted about 10 minutes each. And one station was professional skills and talking about how the NHS is structured and some important points about resilience and work-life balance. And then the other side was academic skills and talking about more scientific things and how we're adapted to learn and become medical students. There was two interviewers in each room, and I sort of had the feeling that there was a good cop, bad cop thing going on, where one interviewer was really lovely and the other interviewer was really horrible and tried to put you under pressure and tried to make you sweat a little bit. Try and get some good sleep the night before. I remember finding it really difficult to sleep at all the night before. I was dead excited and a bit scared. And if I think that really made it a lot more difficult to answer questions properly, that I only had a couple of hours sleep. Try and stick to some sort of good routine. Don't cram everything the night before. Just try and have a nice relaxed night, and then on the day, have good breakfast, get outside, go for a nice walk, try and calm your mind a wee bit, and yeah, dress up properly. There's quite a famous story of a student showing up in, well, I think it actually happens every year, but there's always at least one student that shows up dressed in joggies and a t-shirt, and everybody else is wearing a suit and a tie. And just try and come in with the best positive mindset that you can. Try and be relaxed but confident, and be on time, and bring some water with you. And there's going to be some students, actual medical students, that are going to be in the room with you in Glasgow, just to try and talk to you all, relax you, and answer a couple of questions about university life before you go into the room and do your interview. So that should help you calm you down a wee bit more. If you're asked something that you don't know the answer to, you might be able to get away with saying, sorry, I don't know the answer to that question, but here's something that I think might be related to it. So if they ask you something very, very specific and you say, oh, I don't really know anything about that, but actually it reminds me of something that I've been reading about recently, and then just go off on something that you're actually quite passionate about and talk about that. And if they stop you, or if they don't like what you're saying, they'll stop you and say, no, that's not what we asked you for. We asked you for this specific thing. And then I think if they challenge you, or if it is something that you really don't know anything about, you really need to be honest and say, sorry, I've not come across that, or I'm not familiar with that subject. I haven't really prepared an answer for you. It might be useful to ask them to clarify the question. There was a question in my interview that I didn't understand, so I didn't know how to answer, and I had to ask them to clarify the question.